Okay, so when we started working with this brokerage, one of the challenges was that they had multiple agents across actually multiple states, and trying to generate leads at a cost that was similar across the board, and just trying to keep on top of the different spends, different everything else. So basically, what I did is created a dashboard for them with their target leads that they wanted per month, what that meant per day, what the actual budget was. So that was the budget for the month, what that means per day, so that we can measure that inside of Google. What was the monthly spend at the current time? And that was done through an API check, going into the account, pulling the monthly spend. Same thing with the monthly leads. So then we could calculate a cost per lead, as well as so like in here, you can kind of see that I set up conditions so that when the cost per lead went over what our target was, then we would be able to change that. Also, in some cases, the accounts didn't spend. So immediately needed a check to see what was the average spend, what was also the budget spent, what was the allowable cost per lead in that situation based on the target. And a lot of times what happens is because the account was so large, the salesperson would maybe oversell the leads that were available in a given area. A lot of times these areas were a little bit rural where there may not be as much traffic. But the bottom line is if you're in real estate and you're looking for leads, it still works. Sending people to a page that shows listings that it matches what they're looking for still works. It's still a thing. And it doesn't have to be Zillow or Realtor.com. People are looking, and they also think that there's listings, or that there's available listings outside of these big websites. So in this case, I would recommend getting with a good marketer and making sure you have a website that can display the listings, that can force the people to register, let them save their listings. And there's very few platforms out there that do that. So you're either going to go with a company that probably offers you the marketing, like a Commissions Inc. or Boomtown, or you're going to sign up with Waypoint, Real Estate Webmasters, or Sierra Interactive. Those three companies can, pull from the MLS to show the listings and do that. This company here had their own platform. They pull from the MLS, show the listings, and then the people could force the people to register after they look at one listing, and then they generate leads. And you can see, the average cost per lead, like some of these cells aren't completely because it's an old sheet, but you can see that the average cost of a lead is about $20. So I would say that in your area, $30 to $40 for a lead because it's older is probably more accurate. But if you're in a busy area, if you're in a sort of hot suburban area, not with a lot of available housing, and that seems to be the biggest thing, is if you are in an area where it has a lot of properties, then you're going to be able to generate more leads. And if you're in an area where there's not a lot of properties, then there's just not as much to look at. So there's not as much reason for a home buyer to put their information in. So if you have any questions about real estate marketing, please give me a call, and I'm happy to walk you through anything you need to know.